contestant. Time for grand finale.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mark and today is the last day. Just one thing left in this thing and I know what it is, but because you don't know what it is, let me show you. It is a hedgehog. So I know I found a reference on Pinterest already. That's what we're gonna draw. I'm gonna show it on screen right now. And as that happens, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribe. Please subscribe and share the video, share the channel with many people so that YouTube knows to do its thing. And like the video, turn on notifications, and I thank you very much. So let's get started. This is my reference. I'm using PureF today, and there it is. I want to put this on full screen, my other monitor, and it will look something like this. And that's what I want to see. I'm going to minimize this window, push on my other screen so we can start painting. No blender today, just painting. And I'll use, I think the brush was the best one for me was the chalk brush. I really liked its whole vibe. So let's do that. Crease this. Ooh, I think what I should have done, or what I can do before all this stuff happens, what I can do is actually put the reference into my KRITA first, so I can get the basic colors. Just decrease that. Let's try to make it the same size as my canvas. Minimize that and just draw it from that distance so we don't get bogged down with some details. So let's start here. This is the sketch. I want the chalk. Yep, this is the one I want. Then I can just add in colors that I do see. Just slowly build up the painting. I can use I don't know if I'm going to use one layer, but I can always try. But this is technically for just laying in the colors that I'm seeing, not necessarily for the finished illustration, the finished painting. It will be nice if we finish it like this. I'm not going to lie, it will be cool. So no sketching today, just paint. Whole lot of paint and a whole lot of observation. Might not really zoom in. I don't know how that will work, but we'll see. Just looking at the shapes that are left and observing some stuff. Some legs over there, a bit of shadow over here. And now we can start refining it, I'm sure. So while I do that, have you guys been? I know it's been quite enjoyable painting with you all. I sound like I'm saying goodbye, but it has been enjoyable painting with you. And still don't know what to do next, but I think I'm going to focus on more sculpting. Even if I do the anatomy thing I wanted to do, I have to do something with 3D. And of course, I'll let you know what I'm learning and we can all grow together. Or you can watch me grow. Some people just like watching. Some people I feel like watching people do stuff, which is fine. But this seems like the perfect time to tell you that if you'd like to support me and the channel, can you look at the links in the description as well as the links just below the screen. And I'll be very grateful for any support that you give me. That will be very nice. Very nice. Your support enables me to continue learning and telling you what I'm learning and making videos for you guys. So thank you. If at all that appeals to you, check out the links. If not, it's fine. It will appeal to you later, I'm sure. 'Cause I'm a lovable person. I am a sometimes I wish paintings took like 5 minutes. I also know if it did take 5 minutes, I wouldn't be doing this. So there's a lot in this art thing that I honestly didn't think about when I started. The drive was there. The need to draw, the need to create was overwhelmed my sensibility. And so young man quit his job to start painting. You should have seen it. It was epic. I wrote a letter, then I left and I went on leave. And then when the leave ended, the job had ended. Epic, I tell you. Okay, I think now it's time for a new layer and a bit of zoom. Just a tiny bit of zoom, because our focus should be the animal and not really the foliage. So I'm going to start on the hedgehog and just try and refine something, looking for patterns and proportions, because I think proportions are way more important than accuracy. Because if I do things and it doesn't look like the thing I'm doing, you'll notice it right away. So currently I'm trying to focus on the big shapes, also trying to remember to play with my brush size, because that's really the trick. Brush size, changing your brush size to go into the more broad areas, use broader brush strokes, narrow areas, more detail you will use a smaller brush, and so on and so forth. Let me look at this shadow shape. There's a triangle here, another triangle over here. Not really a part of our animal, but a part of our painting. It's sort of reflecting the color of the ground onto the white fur of this thing. And the ears should go with the eye. Should be something here, same distance and wider over here. Should have done this live, I think. Should have had a live stream, and for everyone who has joined me so far and ask questions and have direct answers. But since I've already started and the live isn't happening anytime soon, sorry. We can always chat in the Discord or in the comments. So if you're interested in talking to me, you can always find me there. I'm always willing to talk to you. You guys are great. You're fun people. It looks like a hedgehog so far. Trying not to think too much about the detail. Let's paint in this orientation for a bit. Let's see what happens. I think I should move this leg over here and add the shadow coming in like so. I'm also trying to paint in the direction of fur growth. I think I've mentioned this before in other videos. Just move that ear. Do we need to liquefy? I'm not sure. Not sure yet. Let's see how this goes first. I think maybe this muzzle is too big, too fat. Let's slim that down. Just carving this bit out and then carving this bit more in that direction, and this as well. And a bit of color for this other leg. Probably make the eye look rounder somehow. Same for this other side, and the nose look a bit more square. Should technically be the last thing I do, but I can't help myself. Put in that highlight and a bit of highlight for the eye. Again, should be the last thing, but I cannot help it. Can't fight the feeling. Let's go back. Look at that cute thing. I shall call him Squishy and he shall be mine. Also trying not to think about the light effects, because you can see from this side there's a lot of reflected light from the ground, so it's making the fur look a bit brown. So I don't want to be tied down to that, but I know I have to do it soon, especially now. Let me just select this color, and then with a larger brush we go on a different layer so I don't ruin things. I can paint in direction of fur, especially here, and then with white and a smaller brush can come in and paint over that color so that we can see a bit of the fur. Here we have white highlights amidst the dark fur. And since I can't paint everything, a large brush surely helps. And make it darker here. Let's go KK, bit dark here. The roots, bit more dark. Smaller brush to get the tips of the spines, at least the ones we can see. And going a bit lighter, can do something like so. Then with my white, I can just highlight some of those tips. Let's go pure white and see what happens, as well as indicate a bit of the hair growth that's happening over here. Although that should be the last thing, because it's more detail oriented than looking for the form. Big brush, because this area is out of focus. And then a bit of darkness for the roots that are poking out. Look at that. Cute thing. I've seen some hedgehog pictures on Pinterest. They're so tiny and cute, and I want one as a pet. I really do. I want one. Go a bit darker so that we can define a bit of edge there. We have that. Maybe make this nose a bit big. Not going to go like really into it. I can, but I don't want to. I'm just going to leave it as this, then merge those two. And this is our before, this is our after. Before, after. So maybe on a layer above that, I can try and work a little something on the background to improve my background skills as well as improve this illustration. So this will all be, I think, blurred as well so that it doesn't take the focus away from our hedgie. Before it's blurred, let's make it really crisp. Again, I'm just using one brush, and if at all you are skipping through this painting, hi, it will mean so much if you just watch the whole thing. But if you're a skipper, that's fine. Welcome, I'm glad you're watching, and consider subscribing if you're a skipper, because why not? Why not? Why? I'm trying to look for something to say. It's like I don't have anything to say, and I'm just enjoying the process, enjoying the end of our series. Thank you so much if you watched each and every episode, each and every short video, either here on or on Instagram, TikTok, though I really hate TikTok. I don't think I'm getting much stuff done on TikTok because all my videos are like stuck in the 120, 150 views. I don't think TikTok likes me that much, or rather I don't know how that TikTok algorithm thing works. I don't know what it wants from me, because I'm not about to start dancing TikTok get views. You do these things, the dances that TikTokers do, especially with the elbows. Not about that life. Either that or the other thing I've seen guys do to get likes on TikTok and Instagram as well is either take off their shirts, which I can't do. I'm too conservative for that. If you're painting, like I should be painting with my shirt off now, that some people will see me. Or this is another disturbing trend I've seen, because I follow a lot of TikTok, a lot of fitness people on Instagram, because I'd like to be fit one day. Sometimes I follow them for their tips. But speaking of tips, there are some things I see on my explore page now that are just wild. People are freeballing out there. Just freeballing, doing exercises in like really loose shorts so we can see other things, and those other things will get them views. So it's wild out there. If you have children, keep them off the internet, because my goodness, wild. So it's coming along. That's what it looks like from afar. Not really going for realistic, but if we get there by mistake, it will be so cool. So cool. Also trying to keep my strokes relatively simple and relatively going in the same direction. There's that. And of course, because the light interacts with these things differently, some things will appear better than others. But the good thing as well is, as I said, is this will all be blurred, so it doesn't really matter that much. You just have to draw and have fun. So now with this, I think this is a tree bark, so it has many detailed bits that we can do stuff with. Still haven't drawn the foreground elements like this these leaves, and I might want to do them, so let's just wait and see what happens. Eventually, if I just do this color pick, go slowly and paint our stuff really carefully, we could recreate this entire photo, which is possible. It would be really tedious. I think there's a layer on top of our hedgehog that I need to erase. I'm going really carefully, erasing some parts over here so I can come to my background and paint them into the background instead of our hedgehog. Yeah. What's going on? Am I in the wrong layer? Yes, I am. Am I erasing? I don't know what's happening. I'm painting. Okay. Don't know what was going on there, but it's fine. So far, we've been painting for 36 minutes, just to give you an idea of what we've been able to do so far. And this is kind of like really faster than we've been in a while. And I think that's one of the benefits of doing a challenge like this, is eventually you get fast at stuff. You don't even need to do a challenge like this. You can always just paint every day or however long you want. Mine just happened to be the 31 days of August on a whim. I didn't know why I wanted to draw animals. Sometimes I tell myself, it's God told me. But this was much fun. I really enjoyed this. It also showed me that I can actually do this every day. Sometimes without any constraints, you might not want to draw every day. Because as much as drawing is fun, and for some of us, we want it to be our living, make a living doing this stuff. also a lot of work, as I said in, I think, the first few videos, maybe the zebra one. Drawing is a lot of work, and unfortunately some people don't think that. And some people develop AI because they don't value the work that artists actually do. But I don't think that's a new thing. Art has rarely ever been valued that much. That's why artwork is sometimes more valuable when the artist dies. He doesn't need the money anymore. Like a Van Gogh piece right now will go for millions. Will Van Gogh for millions? But while he was alive, I think he was labeled a lunatic. I think, I'm not mistaken. You should really look into art history more. I think that's what happened. Let me merge. Shall I merge? No, let me blur this first. Blur, Gaussian, just a bit, so it's just out of focus. Something like this. And then maybe on lay on top of our hedgehog, Mr. Hedgie, we can try and just do the final refinements. But painting is fun. Painting is so much fun. Sculpting is a lot of fun though. Sculpting works. It works for me. This reddish color, I think we're ready. The red, bit of the red. Try and do the eye one more time. Maybe with this color can come in and try a bit of that, a bit of adding in the bit of lid. That's what I wanted to say. A bit of eyelid down here, and of course let me go hard on the highlight here. You can play with the hair a bit and then go over that with white yet again. You can add in a bit of ear to make them more pronounced. And what else? A bit of the whisker things, these spots on its face for the whiskers, and white-ish whiskers. That's too thick. Let's make them a bit smaller. And I think we can work on the foreground. This is the part I am most scared of. I don't like foliage. Foliage doesn't come that easy for me. So now I'm trying to think of it as just a shape, the shapes of the branches and the things. Use this dark color and a lighter color for these parts. Control J that, transform that, rotate it and add it there. Merge these two and maybe filter there, sharpen. I don't know if this helps, and try to repaint some stuff in the greens. So let's leave it at that. Let's paint in this fallen twig. Comes all the way over here to be erased a bit. The shape, and then with a clipping group, a bit dark, paint on the side of that. Let's make the top a bit yellow. Then this group I can flatten. Merge the group, and I can come in and paint in this other branch. It's too light. This is a clipping group. On this side, a bit of that. Merge group yet again. And then we can add in some of these grassy bits. Currently not sure what I'm doing, but something's happening. It's always good. On a new layer, I can add in this color. Very tempted to stop here. Very, very tempted. But I shall keep going because it's the last one. We can definitely do this. Clipping group, merge group. And then we can add in some of these foliage pieces. A bit darker than that. Something like so. I don't know if anything has happened. Try this in the darkness down here. Maybe on this layer. So that there's some contrast happening. Just looking at the shapes. Trying to look at the shapes. Looking at where they end, where they begin. And I'm currently just looking at the dark bits of this part of the photo, and in doing so you can see how we are sort of finding the form of all these foliage things. Not all of them, but most of them. Also changing the size of my brush, color picking also from the leaves in the other side. And for this one, I think something like that will do. Didn't use a clipping mask for this part. Maybe I can add in a bit of highlight, yellow highlight on this part. Maybe something like this. And let's see, everything from here to the other bit is the background. So I can merge this, make can duplicate it, and in the duplicate I can transform, take this here, something like so, rotate it, do this, I skew it. I don't know how to skew. How do I skew? Oh, okay, found it, put it there. Maybe now, because these are the background, I can merge those, the foreground actually, I'm sorry. I can merge those, and then with the lasso tool I can come in and do something like that. Blur this area so it's out of focus a bit, and I think we're done. Now we zoom in and see what we've done. This is our Hedgehog. Let's try and refine that. And probably with the clipping group, come into the multiplies, select this color, and then we can do our shadows. This whole area under here will be in shadow, inside the ear, and also a bit of some stuff here. It's all in shadow. And on a new layer on top of that, do the overlay. I want this yellowish color, so we can add in some highlights. Not everywhere, as it's not a bright day. It's not that bright of a day, but there are some places I feel need some of this. A bit of this, a bit of that. Decrease that a bit, and I think we're done. We are finished for the day. We merged this merge group. So here is our progression. This is what we started with. This is our before. So our before, then we technically this is our next step, and we added the background, we added some things on top of the guy, and then we added the foreground. That's our illustration of the day, and that concludes our 31 days of drawing animals in August. Again, for the guys who want to know, we've done this in an hour, 1 hour 5 minutes, and I don't think we could have done this on day one. I tried, but no. Yeah, I don't have much to say today. I feel like I haven't had much to say. Then I'll go and edit and see that I talked for 30 minutes. Anyway, if you like the video, like the video. If you like the series, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me these 31 days of animal drawing. And I think I need some time to actually see what I'll upload from now. I have a bunch of the lazy time lapses set up, so I think I'll do those as I take a break from this whole thing and as I'm going into the next step. So if you don't see my face in a while, that's the reason. And I also have some classes to do, so that will be fun. Anyway, if you want to support this channel and myself, kindly check the links in the description. If you want to hang out, join the Discord, and you can also follow me on Instagram. And if you send me a DM, I will be sure to answer you or reply or react with an emoji. Yeah. Anyway, have a great day. 2 thumbs up. Bye-bye.